Yeah, whoop. Arizona gets a big-time victory today against the University of Kansas.
They played Kansas.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. It's 6:30, not 8:30. Oh my gosh, what an awesome win! First of all, Arizona was playing 5-on-8 in the first half. They still get the victory. We got a lot to get to. Trey Townsen playing hard, balling out. Brogan and I were talking about that for about 20 minutes during the half. A lot of stuff to get to. Guys, this was a gut check win. There was not this was clearly kind of a hometown cooking type thing, but Sheer, Brogan, this was a big time. This was a gut check win for the Wildcats.
You want to read that super snap real quick before?
Yeah. Back to freaking A from our. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. No. I didn't even see that. Bridge Tech Communications 99.99. Back to freaking A. We love you, Tony. You're the man.
And then John Taylor 4.99. Townsend and KJ fight back.
Townsend, KJ fight back. Yes, sir. John Taylor.
There were multiple times in that game, Mike, where Arizona could have folded. Yes. And I kind of would have understood it, right? The refs, the bad calls. Kansas back in the game, Zeke Mayo hitting step back threes. Like it called for Arizona just to fold up, right?
Yeah.
They did the opposite. They responded every time Kansas did something positive. That is a big, big win. I know at the end of the day, it's not all that meaningful yet, with whatever conference tournaments and all that. But man, that's a big win. I don't think it can be understated. I really don't.
Brogan.
Yeah, and the thing is, you get Kansas right away after you lost at Lawrence, but then you've also got Houston and Texas or Iowa State and BYU. Like, this team needed a big win. Beating Utah and beating ASU doesn't really do it, but this kind of gives them some much needed momentum after the wheels were getting a little wobbly to end the season. This hopefully gets you back on track, and then hopefully they can follow it up with a win tomorrow.
All right, we're going to get to all the super snaps in here. I appreciate all you guys. But one guy that I'm going to lead with here, and I know he didn't have the best game. I don't care. We're going to lead with him here, is Trey Townsend. Listen, Brogan and I were talking.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean,
16 points.
Henry was the best player out there. But yes, but either way, it doesn't matter. Trey Townsend, he's playing hard. He's attacking the basket. And you see it like in the past where I'm like, oh man, you noticed him when he was out there for the wrong reasons. Whereas now, again, he's attacking. He's playing with energy. He's playing with hustle. It's a game changer. It's a game changer when you can have a real difference maker out there. And I guess maybe March Trey is a thing, fellas. What do you think?
You know how we joked around that Brent Brennan was keeping his playbook quiet until the offense, and it never happened. But clearly, Trey Townsen, I mean, this is, and you know what it is, Mike? His effort level is just on a different level than it's been all season. I mean, but
no doubt.
Clearly, we called each other before the game and we're like, dude, he's starting Trey. Like, what are we doing? And I was like, look, he's either going to look real stupid or real smart. Obviously, he looked real smart. For whatever reason, KJ Adams cannot guard Trey Townsen.
Right.
And Adams was terrible today.
Yeah, Brogan, I mean, it is what it is. We were talking about it before the game, and it's like, Tommy, and here's the thing, we're going to get to it. The people out there that don't think Tommy can coach, I mean, Tommy's a pretty good coach at the end of the day. But Brogan, if you get a Trey Townsend that is not only just kind of taking up, biding time, but also being a difference maker, that kind of changes the equation a little bit.
Yeah, and I think offensively, whenever Kansas made a run in the first half, he got a bucket. All of his buckets, for the most part, were pretty timely in the game. Same with Henry for the most part, KJ a little bit. But for Trey, we're usually watching the game of he turned it over. Oh, he missed a shot. He did this. But this game, he was making plays. I mean, look, he's been in college basketball forever. His time's about to run out. He knows he's not an NBA player. Maybe this is the awakening for him of man, I've only got a handful of games left. Time to sell out. And maybe March Trey's going to become a real thing.
What was the score, Brogan, when Kansas went up and then Trey got that 3-point play with the goaltend?
Yeah, the and one. Arizona was either up 1 or down 1. I can't remember, but it was like a tight game.
It was down 1, 5 minutes left. Yeah, and it's like Kansas could go on a run at any minute. That run, that bucket was huge.
Yeah, it was massive. Now, let's talk a little bit then about KJ Lewis. KJ Lewis is a little bit different for me in that I'm wrong on most things, but I predicted a KJ Lewis big game before I tweeted it out many, many times just to make sure. KJ Lewis showed when KJ Lewis plays to his game, he's very good. When KJ Lewis, and again, you watched it too, when he was in transition, he was attacking. He wasn't trying to cross people up or hit step back, threes or anything like that. He was attacking the basket. He was making good plays, and when he gets to the line, he finishes. I can deal with. He's always going to have he's always going to have a few plays where you're kind of like, what the heck? But this was winning basketball from KJ Lewis across the board, and again, if you get those kind of performances from teams, you're going to be pretty good.
When he hit the three, did you assume that he was about to shoot like 6 more?
I did, and he did it.
He did it. That was the only three he took all game. It was in stride. It was a really good shot. Open three. It's real simple. When he's aggressive to the basket, he's really good. We've said this all season. Go to the hoop. You don't need to shoot jumpers and all that. Go to the hoop. Get fouled like he did today. He had 7 free throw attempts. And when he's playing like that, he's an underrated passer. He's a good defender. KJ, when he does what he does well, is a really good basketball player.
Brogan?
And the bottom line is when you start the game, you have to understand that KJ Lewis is going to have plays where he smokes a point-blank layup and then runs to half court and fouls somebody, right? That's part of his game. Like, he's just going to make bad plays. But once you set that aside, then you can really appreciate the steals, the rebounds, the assists, the points. As long as he doesn't shoot a bunch of threes. And we covered this a couple post games ago, but he's top 3 or 4 in every single category Arizona has across the board. So his value is extreme for the team. When he plays well, they typically win. When he plays bad, well, they typically struggle,
And he plays hard too. That's the other thing too. And Tommy Lloyd always makes this point. He's like, the end of the day, if a guy's playing really, really hard, I'm not going to get on him too much. And that was kind of, and I think that's a little bit to the case. But again, when he plays to his game, he's very, very good. And that was great to see as well. Also, and then we're going to get to Henry here in a second. Caleb Love, this to me was a little bit of a game that Caleb Love, I don't think, has this game at this point last year. I think Caleb Love is trying to take 15, 18 shots, prove, that he can get to the Caleb Love became a facilitator towards the end. And it's kind of like we've been saying about all season with Caleb Love. Heck, Caleb Love's entire career, we've been saying this, that when Caleb gets into the paint, Caleb's a good passer. Caleb's got pretty good vision. And especially as a secondary ball handler, he had some really nice setups throughout the game. He was great, guys. I don't care how many points he scored. He was great.
I actually credit Tommy for this. I don't know if people noticed. He ran the point. Mm-hmm. There were multiple. He brought the ball up court multiple times, and that 2-man game with Henry changed the whole dynamic of the offense. Kansas had no answer for it. And, he only took 9 shots. He only 11 points, pretty efficient, but 6 assists to 1 turnover. That is an absolutely fantastic game. He played within the offense. He gave what Kansas got him, and then eventually that 2-man game with Henry just became too much for Kansas.
Brogan.
Yeah, and historically with Caleb Love, when the games would get tight, he presses, he shoots a bunch of shots. Sometimes he makes them, sometimes he misses them. This game, I think he understood its development as a player, but the offense was flowing without him having to force a bunch of shots. He was able to get in the paint, distribute the ball, to Shear's point, run the point a little bit and create. And so he didn't end up going 5 for 16 and take a couple bad shots when the game was tight and give Kansas the ability to go out and run. And him staying under control kind of allowed Arizona to stay in their rhythm and then push the lead up to 10 late.
Okay, Cody, let's get to some of the super snaps. Let's catch up with everything. And again, we're going to read all all right. British Tech Communications, $99.99. Back the freaking A. Yes, thank you. Yeah, wop, wop, wop. Okay, what else we got? John Taylor, $4.99. Townsend and KJ fight back. Yes, yes, yes. Salute emoji. All right, keep them going. Hunting preseason, enjoy the process, guys. You can only have one in March. Jordan Mays or Trey Townsen. Well, I remember Jordan Mays against Texas. If you can do that, then I'll take it. Stut Joe, $2. Fun game to watch. Oh, yes, very much so. All right, what else we got? Jeremiah Dibble, the great Jeremiah Dibble. Zeke Mayo, hold this L. Yes, yes, yes. All right, what else we got? Let's see here. Lance, $5. Big 12 turned into UFC with elbows to the face. That's one I want to get to here in a second. Also, Stut Joe, Cats played really well. $2 super snap. Thanks a ton. Okay, and my wife says I can only give you money if you all take a step back from the camera. Back the A. Daniel Hartman, very much appreciate it. Luda's my daddy. It was good to see Tommy not playing Henry and walking together. This team is best with Henry and 4 guard wings. And what else do we got here? We've got back the A. Ray. Mikhail East will not be denied. Very much like it. Okay, now let's get to the Great. Oh, beautiful. Oh, very nice. Beautiful. 1999 Super Snap. Caleb plus Henry 2-man game. Love it. Love it. Love it. Kobe L. Thiel. Ted just farted. Kobe L. Thiel. I shouldn't say that. Probably. 199. It's Ted. 8 on 5 was crazy. Yeah, he's been stressed all day. He was at the groomer.
Nervous gas.
Nervous gas. Eddie Lynn, hat tip for to trade tonight. $10. Very, very much appreciated. Okay, now let's get to the Green Valley decorative rock star of the game. The rock star of the game. Green Valley decorative rock.
Should we just do super snaps all post game?
All these super snaps are great, man. Yay, I'm getting paid.
Mike said something funny. I don't think you'll mind me saying, Mike, but Mike called me earlier and he goes, Sharon, I don't know if you've noticed, when we win, the super snaps just really come in. When we lose, it's like $4, and it's I pity you guys. So here's $4.
Yes, here it's like here, get off the screen. Yes, exactly. What's the live record? It was like 998 or 988 during expansion talk. Okay, Green Valley decorative rock star game. Henry Veesar. This is what I'm saying. We're gonna get back to all of the super snaps. Very much appreciate it. Henry Veesar. To any of the people out there that think Tommy Lloyd can't coach, I just say look at Henry Veesar. Henry Veesar, from making 3-point shots to his offense now. Now, there's a couple of them that I thought he probably could have been called for a travel with the pivot foot, but man, the up and unders, the way that he was taking it to H-Dick in this game, and I don't think that he shows off a little bit more every single game where you're like, whoa. He is going to play in the NBA or the MNBA at some point. He's going to be that guy. He's just, like I said, his growth has been just tremendous, and it's a real testament to Tommy Lloyd and to the people that think Tommy can't coach, guys.
Tonight was the second most minutes he played. I was looking right now. He played 30. He had 30 at Baylor and 32 at Iowa State. So productive. Like here's the thing. Like he is a tough matchup. Yeah. For H-Dick, because H-Dick, he's slow, right? And then when he gets in the perimeter, that's where you kind of got to attack him. And that 2-man game just killed him because he can't switch. He's done. And then he can't guard on the perimeter. And look, this is going to sound crazy to some people after the other day. Tommy Lloyd outcoached Bill Self tonight. Mm-hmm. Kansas and Kansas had no answer for what Tommy was doing offensively.
No, he didn't. And Arizona, and that's the thing too, is that if Arizona wasn't getting hosed in the first half, this game would have been nearly as close. It felt like that game to me, I don't know about you guys, but it felt to me like this game should have been a 16, 17-point game at the half, because those fouls, man, come on, dude. And again, I thought it was way worse of I thought this was way worse than it was at Fog, and it became different in the second half. But man, that first half, Brogan, was disgusting.
Yeah, and my biggest issue with the first half is it went against how they officiated the entire conference season. There were games against Texas Tech and Iowa State where Arizona and their opponents were just beating the crap out of each other, and they weren't calling any fouls. And then in this game, you come out in the first half, and I was telling you at halftime, they called more fouls on rebounds than I think they've called on Arizona all season combined.
Yeah.
There was like 4 or 5 of their fouls were on rebounds where they don't impact the play. One team's got the ball, and you're blowing the whistle. And so it was just kind of an odd officiated half that didn't really go in Arizona's favor. Arizona got lucky to get out of the half with everybody only having 2 fouls or less, because that allowed them to just play normal basketball in the second half.
Yeah, and let's talk about it for a second too. I was looking at the, I wasn't looking at it, I was just reading it, but somebody said, how is that not a flagrant on H-Dick?
I was literally going to bring that up.
He literally elbows him after, and again, if you're letting them all play and you're like, well, he got his head down close to H-Dick, and H-Dick just, whatever. But if you're calling every single play, how in the world is that not a flagrant on H-Dick?
Here's the thing too. What I think it was BYU. Wasn't Jaden Bradley called for something similar? Like where his elbow went up.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was completely unintentional. Right.
Right.
This wasn't unintentional. This was him, Dickinson, backing up and throwing a bow. By rule, and even Fran said it before he switched back for whatever reason. By rule, even if it's intentional, unintentional, complete accident, contact with the head with an elbow is a flagrant foul.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy?
Most predictable thing ever was them not calling that, though.
I was like, oh, that's a flagrant. And you texted us and you're like, they're not calling this on him.
Yeah, no chance.
Listen to this. You want to hear something crazy? And I'm assuming this is true because it's on Twitter. Hunter Dickinson has now played 46 minutes against Arizona and has been called for 2 fouls, 1 a moving screen. Dude.
Yeah, that was he got called for 2 more fouls later in the game, but yeah, that was like 3-4 quarters into the game.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing here, man? Either way, and that was the fact too. And with Arizona, and I got to give them a lot of credit too. I was really, I was really worried because when Arizona was in the bonus with 10.5 minutes left, even if you're outplaying a team to a massive, to a massive advantage, if you know every time you foul, guess what? By about the under 8-minute mark, you're going to be giving up the double bonus at that point. You're getting him right back in there. And again, about H-Dick, this guy has moving screens and hooks every single time. When he goes baseline or he goes inside, H-Dick hooks every single time. And it's almost like, well, we can't call it every time, so we just won't call it. No!
I actually felt pretty good at halftime for that reason, because I thought the only reason Kansas was in the game was the refs. And right. You got to assume that stuff usually evens out. And again, like Arizona should have been up 15 points at the half or whatever. I figured, that was keeping them sticking around. And if Arizona played well, they would come out with the win.
Yeah, Brogan.
Well, and they did a good job in the last couple minutes of the half to get it up to 8 and close it out, where it could have been a 2 or 3 point game at half. And then it's like, okay, things are getting a little dicey. But I was excited to see the officiating go back to the start of the second half, where I think they had called 4 fouls in the first 10 minutes of the second half. And they were letting them play and letting the game flow. It's hard for Arizona to get – I mean, they had great rhythm offensively, but every time they would go on a run, whistle, 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 whistle. Kansas hits a 3. Dickinson gets a couple easy buckets. And so it to your point, Sheer, same. I felt decent at halftime as long as they didn't come out blowing the whistle and get some early foul trouble on Veesar or – Lewis or whoever's in the game at the point. It felt like Arizona was playing better than Kansas. They looked better. Everything lined up for Arizona to just be better, and that's kind of how it ended up in the end.
All right, Cody, let's catch up on the super snaps. Not from the beginning, but where we left off at, because, again, we can't. And, again, we'll get all the super snaps at the end. Very much appreciate you guys. This way I can maybe move out of my guest room at some point. Okay, back to the A-Ray. Mikhail East will not be denied. Yes, back to the A-Ray. Utifo, 1999. Caleb plus Henry, 2-man game. Yes. All right. Kobe, 8 on 5 was crazy. Yes, that was very annoying. Eddie Lynn, $10 hat tip to Trey tonight. Yes. Very much agree. Let's see. Tom Hart, $4.99. Are we finally getting the full 2025 team except minus Krivas? Hopefully. And what else we got here? Meisner, the great Meisner. Tommy is 13-2 in revenge games. It's almost like he can coach. All right, CB Wildcat, $4.99 super sticker. Appreciate you. Frank Lotti, $10 super stickers. Thank you very much. Stut Joe, $2. That was a great basketball game. You guys rule. You do as well, my friend. Okay, Mr. Tyler Warden, the great Mr. Tyler Warden. This is my big concern for Big 12 teams in March. In-season officiating is wildly different. I want to get back to that in just a second. Let's see here. What else do we got? Jerry B. H-Dick tired out. Awesome coaching and playing. Totally agree with that one. What else we got? Mateo, $10. Need to close with that Jaden, KJ, Caleb, Carter, Henry lineup. Always tenacious on defense. Yes, I would agree with that. Very much so. Eddie Lynn, $20 coffee money. You know what that? Yes, I like that. Might be an inside joke. Utifo, the H stands for hook. Yes. Or H-Dick. Hook dick. Okay.
No.
Yeah. That could go in a lot of different.
That's a good show, and
yeah, that could go in a lot of different directions. Okay, now here, but again, here's I think yes, this means we're most likely a 4 seed, and we're going to probably be. All right, we're going to be up in SRS. And a big shout out to Andre Veras. I discovered Andre Veras. He will be the AZ12 is going on the road, and it's going to be sponsored by Andre Veras. We like Andre Veras. Okay. The officiating, though, this is something that I don't quite understand, though. Most of the season, they would let, and we talked about it, but it was just kind of a joke that most of the season I was okay because they would allow them to play, and then it was almost like, okay, we got to call a few ticky-tack fouls. Then this game, it's like, okay, well, we just need to call everything. That is what bothers me. Listen, as an official, Brogan can attest to this. I am a bad official, but I am consistently bad. Whereas with these guys, it's almost like, okay, well, we'll just allow them to do, we'll allow them to play, and then guess what? We got to get in there, and then we got to call it. It's frustrating. Sure.
It's just weird, right? Like, it's like, I actually don't mind bad reffing. I know that sounds silly, but what I mean by that is, like, if they're bad the entire game, I can live with it. I just say to myself, you know what? These guys are bad refs. If you do awful where, like, you're calling, like you said, everything in the first half on Arizona. right?
Right.
Rebounding fouls, which I've never seen more rebounding fouls called in my entire life. And then they're also there's a play where H. Dick got Henry in a full Nelson, like, right? And they just let it go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? Right? Like, just make the calls. And if you want to make it a game, like the Wisconsin game early in the season, it was terrible, right?
Yeah.
But it was terrible all game. They just called fouls all game. That was the decision they made. So part of me, you can live with that, as opposed to one half we're going to call fouls and the next half we're not.
Yeah.
Well, and I think when we get to the NCAA tournament, the Big 12 is going to be good for Arizona in a couple ways. One, the competition, the road games, the physicality, all those things, which they've been missing. But the officiating, in some ways, a game like this helps Arizona because now they know how to play with foul trouble. The Wisconsin game helps you because you know how to play with foul trouble. In the tournament, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get officials from all over the country, different conferences, whatever. But now they kind of have, okay, if we commit 10, 12 fouls in the first half, we kind of know what to do because we've actually had to experience it. So this game, because they won, I don't mind the officiating. Had they lost, I'd be steaming like crazy. But because they won, they can take this and kind of learn. The rotation changes a little bit, things like that. So in the end, it might end up being a good thing for them to be able to play through the foul trouble.
All right, now it's time for the RJ's Frozen Cactus moment of the game. And guess where I'm going to go again with the moment of the game, the RJ's Frozen Cactus moment of the game? I am going to go with the Trey Townsen and one. Yeah. What was it? Kansas tied, or I think it was tied, and then Trey Townsen got the and one and the foul. Well, heck, that's an and one. And then he made the shot. Then Arizona really never looked back from there. That was huge. Again, he was just a massive difference maker. Also, everybody hit the subscribe and like button. Yeah. But guys, I thought that was the play of the game, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of them, but what do you think?
I'll highlight someone else. So after that Townsend play, right, it's 66-65. Arizona, Henry scores, Kansas scores, Henry gets the dunk, Kansas scores, Henry scores again. Before you know it, they're up 72-69. And they just kept going at it. And then, KJ and Townsend get involved. But that sequence by Henry, where he scored 3 buckets in a row, I thought that kind of put Arizona on the right track to win.
Brogan, what do you think? Brogan, are you there?
I'm going to go with the – yeah, am I here still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
I'm going to go with the Veesar to Townsend lob. I think that play tied the game
that was
up,
big too.
63, 61, something like that. It just kind of speaks to Townsend. Like, he had 4 or 5 moments in this game where he made a couple big plays and kept Arizona even up, whatever. But I think Arizona's missed the high-low this season, like has been signature under Tommy. And so you get a little taste of it there with the lob from Veesar to Townsend.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about, so that to me is the either way, there was a lot of good moments of the game there. Let's talk a little bit then about the where this team goes then going forward. You got Texas Tech. Arizona's going to play Texas Tech. Arizona, this is kind of an interesting situation because I think you're now playing with house money. I want to get your guys' take on this. I believe that Arizona, if they win the Big 12 tournament, I do believe that Arizona will be a 3 seed. I just can't see a situation where Arizona beats Kansas, Texas Tech, and most likely Houston and does not get a 3 seed. How important for it is for Arizona to get the 3 seed? Because at that point, we got to be clear here. You can avoid that 1 seed until the Elite 8, potentially. I realize how much far we're getting ahead of each other. And Arizona, I'm sorry, I'll take my chances against any 2 seed out there. Now, again, 2 seeds can beat Arizona. But again, if it's Tennessee or, whatever, as the kids would say, shrink. Is that right, Kobe Thiel? I don't know exactly how it goes. But yes, that's where I would go with that.
So you got to just look at the possible 3 seeds, Mike, right? Iowa State was probably a 3 seed. They lost today. That's good news, right? A&M was probably a 3 seed. Texas won that game, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
A&M,
yes.
Great news, right? Kentucky's going to win right now. Maybe they're up 4. You want them to lose. Texas Tech is probably the top 3 right now. If Arizona beats Texas Tech, it gets real interesting, even without winning the final. It gets real interesting because going into the game, and I just go by bracket matrix, Arizona was the top rated 5, right? Mm-hmm. So you want, the 3s to lose. You want Arizona to get big wins. Wisconsin, Maryland, Purdue, Clemson. Those are the games you got to kind of keep an eye on. But the difference is Arizona, like Clemson's best win could be Duke without Cooper Flag. Arizona would go in a streak where it beats Kansas, Texas Tech, and I'd assume Houston. I mean, you're talking 3 high quad 1 wins. So
yeah,
if Arizona wins the Big 12, I didn't think so before. But when you look at who's losing early and stuff like that, I agree. I think Arizona would very much be in the conversation for a 3.
I discovered this 3 seed argument, just like Andre Veras. Go ahead on.
You realize Arizona, if it was a 3, would probably go to Denver though, Mike.
Ooh. All right, go ahead, Brogan. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, I think it's actually with the way some of the games broke today. If North Carolina beats Clemson tomorrow, I think Arizona, if they win the Big 12, they're a 3 no matter what. And I think they actually jump to the top side of the 3 line, closer to the top of the 3 than the bottom of the 3, just because they're going to be able to leapfrog Iowa State for sure. I don't know if they'll leapfrog Texas Tech, but those 2 beating Texas Tech and then beating Houston in those games. Too many of the higher seeds have already lost in their tournament. So 4's a lock. If they win a game, I think they've got a chance at a 3. If they win 2, I think they're guaranteed to be a 3 at that point.
What does Signu Mike mean? Noah says Signu Mike. I don't know what that means.
Shelby, what's Signu mean?
What's Signu mean? Yeah, what's this mean?
Isn't that like isn't it a frat?
Is that like shrink or lank? Is the
it's a frat. That's a frat.
Yeah, all right. Well, either way, all right.
Sigma Nu.
Yeah. All right. Carter L. Bryant. I want to talk about Carter L. Bryant here for a minute. He is and Brogan and I were talking about him. He's obviously going to play in the NBA. You can tell that with the shooting and with the defense, that's a very simple spot. And again, this is just me getting on my soapbox because I want him back for next year. But do you want to be Cam Johnson in the NBA? And Brogan, you made an interesting point where you said if you're the 27th pick as opposed to the 12th pick, it's a lot different in how they try to develop you. Go ahead with that.
Yeah, so the rule of thumb used to be if you're a guaranteed first-round pick, you go to the league no matter what. NIL changed that. Now I think it's if you're a lottery pick, you have to go no matter what. And here's why I think that is. Because if a team spends a lottery pick on you, they're fully invested into making you good. You're going to get every opportunity to play. You're not going to be sent to the G League. You're not going to be on a 2-way, none of that. You're going to play, may not start, but you're going to play a lot of minutes. If you're the 28th pick in the draft, nobody expects you to hit. They could be done with you in a year. You could be on a 2-way. You could be G League. There's a lot of things that where they're going to draft the next replacement for you with the 27th pick next year. And so all of a sudden your leash gets super, super short if you're outside the lottery. So if I'm Carter Bryant and I'm the 23rd pick in the draft, let's say, which is about where he's going to go, he's Cam Johnson at this point. Can't really dribble.
I think Carter's a 2-way contract right now. I think he's a 2-way G League / NBA guy because he's so young and developing that there's going to, if he gets drafted in the late 20s, Mike, like you're a good team, you're not bringing him up to play in the NBA right away.
Right. And again, my biggest concern too with him too is I just look at him and again, I think he's great. I think he's, I think he's got great potential. But I also look at it though, and I'm like, I don't know how he does in practice. I don't know how he's just young. That's the best way that I could put it. Some dudes are young, but at the end of the day, you're kind of like, all right, you're ready to go or you're ready for it. I just don't know that he's ready for it. That's, I guess,
Well, I mean, you look at some of the freshmen, right? Like I watched VJ Edgecombe, right? He's young, but that dude's ready right now. It just looks different, right? Like when a freshman is ready, like when you watch Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, even though that team sucks, those guys are physically ready right now. Carter should not.
Yes. Also, you need to tell that person that I was the one that came up with the H-Dick reference. No,
I know, but they're cracking up right now.
Yeah, it's very good. Yes. Okay. Now
they're pumped. They're very pumped. I can tell you.
Yeah, they should be pumped. They should be pumped. I messaged Murph today, and he well, never mind. And he just didn't respond to me after a while. Okay. Let's I want to talk about Fran Fraschilla here for a second. And I realize that this is not by the way, I didn't know Shear and Fraschilla have a long history. You lied to me, Jason Shear. You lied to me.
I didn't know about that tweet. I really didn't.
You didn't. All right. So here, bro,
here's the history. Years ago, Fran said something about Sean, I think, and it got to me. And so Fran once, the rumor was that he was fired, but he got in trouble as during a practice, he basically questioned his team's manhood and he took off his pants. He took off his pants and started yelling at him pantless. And so I was like, dude, Fran, you're so upset. Are you pantless right now? And he's like, oh, that wasn't right. And like we went back and forth and I didn't think anything of it. And then weeks ago when Edgecombe and Baylor was playing, all that dude talked about was Edgecombe. And I realized Edgecombe's good, but that was the whole. So I was like, man, Fran's close to dating Edgecombe. And I guess Fran went at me, but like, I don't mind Fran. I actually don't. Tonight, he had one thing that was just absolutely stupid.
But either way, I like Fran a great deal as an announcer because here's where it is. I have watched too many announcers this year for Arizona that can't pronounce the names right, that don't know who's good, that you watch them and you're like, this dude clearly cares. This dude clearly cares about the job that he does. And when you watch him, huh?
Well, I was gonna tell a story to help your case.
Yeah, but I mean, when you watch him, though, he knows all the players. He knows the ins and outs. I like the guy. I feel like I never go into a game, fellas, where I think that he didn't do his research. There's way too many times this year's with Arizona guys where I go into a game and I'm like, dude, this guy has no research whatsoever. You probably figure out who. But that, to me, is the part that matters, guys.
I once made a joke about Fran in front of Nate, who's the SID for basketball. And he goes, Fran is like the biggest Big 12 fan out there. Like the Big 12 loves because if you listen to him, he loves all the Big 12 teams.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to talk bad about teams. He'll never do it, which is kind of annoying in the sense where his criticism is very leveled or non-existent. But he absolutely loves this conference and coaches generally like him. When you compare him to other guys that call games, I have no problem with Fran. None.
Yeah, Brogan, what do you think of Fran? I like Fran.
Well, and my gauge is pretty simple, and it applies to Jay Billis. It applies to Dookie V. It applies to Fran. Like, if you love the game of basketball and you're a color guy, it comes across super easy. So what you can tell with Fran is he just loves basketball. Like, he's just excited to be there to call the game. He also knows basketball inside and out. He's recruited. He's covered recruiting. He's done a bunch of things. And so I don't have any issues with Fran. I mean, we could have Jimmy Dykes. Like, it gets way worse than Fran Fraschilla.
Yeah, it does.
In terms
Jimmy
of color,
Dykes.
you know. So I'm totally all good with Fran for sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure on that. But I don't like Fran because he will always go with the popular opinion. He's a yes man. Either way, I like him just because. Oh, by the way, that AZ12 hat looks so good. Sheer, you're getting Sheer is married. Everyone.
Where do you get one of those AZ12 podcast hats?
Yeah,
Cody,
put it on there.
Oh, look at this, Cody.
On demand, Cody. On demand. Right. Perfect timing.
Hey, let's talk about Kansas. Let's talk. Yeah, back off. Shelby is in the remarks. She is in the remarks, and she is taking names. Hey, let's talk about Kansas here for a second. Now, listen, I was telling Sheer before the season that I just didn't see it. I was telling Brogan, too. I'm like, preseason #1 team. These guys were just slobbering, going crazy about Kansas, this and that. Joking aside, Kansas is a hold on just a second. Kansas, Daniel S. Light the Beam. Holy poop. I didn't know this channel existed. Someone in the PHNX pod mentioned you had 700 lives. I didn't miss the K reads, but I missed the Jason and Sheer together. Well, hop on over, partner, and hit subscribe.
Hey, and we appreciate PHNX keeping an eye on the lives here. So
hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We very much like it. What were we talking about here? Who do you prefer, Fran or Pitino? It depends on what you mean. Mike
would die for Rick Pitino.
Yes, exactly.
We were talking about how you had Kansas as the clear #1 preseason.
Oh, yeah, no, that is yes. Joking aside, though, and this is why this is actually a really good win, though, because Kansas doesn't stink. The way they're playing right now, this is not the team that was a month ago. Now, are they the best team in the country? No, they are not. But they're still a pretty good team. H-Stick is good. Zeke Mayo's really good. Juwan Harris is solid.
That's hurt them it is insane how bad AJ Store is. Like,
and that's the one that you just couldn't see.
This year,
right?
You will almost never see anything like it. Like, he was an 18. Wasn't he like an 18-point game scorer?
It was Wisconsin.
And you can't even play. He's unplayable.
And here's the thing: think about how crazy Arizona's fan base was with Trey Townsen being the underwhelming transfer. Well, they got Mayo, who stunk for half the season, but he's been good late. Store, who was their prize portal guy, terrible. Rylan Griffin, non-existent, can't play in half the games. Like, they got 2.5 cases of Trey Townsen. We got lucky with one. So they just missed the portal. It happens.
Right. See, CB Wildcat, I mean, you put it really well. You said, did Store play?
9 minutes, 0-2. After last night, I got nervous about this game because last night he destroyed UCF. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to start playing like Zeke Mayo all of a sudden, where he's awesome in the postseason and all that. And then tonight, unplayable.
Oh, Rick Barron's, the great Rick Barron says, hey, put it back up there. Rick Barron's gave me Rick Barron's. Mike, I love your ADHD. I can't not watch it. It's like a train wreck. I can't look away from it. Nice.
Oh my God. Someone, Mike, I'm sending you this picture. Someone, Cody, can you put a link in the thing? Someone yelled at Bruce's name when he was working, and he turned around, and they took a picture of him. We got a Bruce tongue out of his mouth on press row. I just sent it to you. Cody, can you put this up?
Cody, put this in this in the group. All right, hold on a second here.
God.
Hold on.
Erotic. Do you see that?
Yes. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on, everybody stay. Don't leave. I want to see this though. Hold on.
Porn.
Yeah, this is let's see here. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Oh, and he's sticking his tongue out.
Oh,
Cody, get this up here. Get this up here. We're going to get Bruce on tomorrow. Maybe we can get him on tomorrow again. Okay, yeah, come on, Cody. Big 12 Bobby in here as well. Yes, exactly. All right. Now, wow, that's really good. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Texas Tech. Let's talk a little bit about Texas Tech. And regarding PHNX, the only person, Espo, you mess with the paw, you get the glove. You know the drill around here. You know the drill. All right, let's talk a little bit about Texas Tech. Listen, JT Toppin is kind of the epitome of the portal when it comes to, like, there's a lot of people, I wanted to ask you guys about this. There's a lot of people on the board that are like, well, you want to, we can do better than Tobe Awaka. We can do better than him, this or that. I come down to this, though, man. When I look at it and I'm like, bro, if I got a guy that's 10-10, it can be really dicey in the portal. You look at it. Trey Townsen was supposed to, I fell into that. It wasn't that good.
I think, like, people, like, Brogan said it, like, portal recruiting is way harder than people think.
Well, right, but that's going to be my point. Look at Javier Ramos, your guy, who you loved Javier Ramos. But at the same time, look at JT Toppin. JT Toppin is an All-American type guy, and he was rated below those two.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing with the portal is you get a lot of mid-major players who are top of the conference guys transferring up. That doesn't always work. Not everybody can be PJ Haggerty and be 24 points a game. Sometimes you get the Trey Townsen side of it. So you don't get the best players at the biggest schools transferring where they're going to be good. Those guys either go to the draft or they stay and get paid. And so when you've got to balance roster construction, system fit, does their athleticism and speed and skill translate? Like that's a really, really tough thing to do as a coach. The ones who nail it are like the Alabamas, where they get like 6 transfers somehow. And then they only need 3 or 4 of them to hit. But Arizona's cutting a kind of a thinner margin with 2 or 3. But if you look at Arizona, ADO wasn't supposed to really play this year. Turned out he was better than they thought he was when he showed up, and he was more ready to play, so they put him out there. So for them, it was Awaka as a role player and Townsend as an impact player. Super thin margin there, because if they both don't hit, you kind of get what you get, what we have with them. So the portal's just a lot harder than I think even high school recruiting, to be honest.
Yeah. Bashir?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's so many players where you look at the mid-majors, you're like, this guy is awesome. Like, Mike, you say it all the time with Trey. Trey was a dude averaging 20 points a game, looking like the best player on the court in multiple games.
Right.
It's just that in football, there's such a difference in level and system and everything that it is extremely difficult to evaluate. AJ Stewart is the perfect example. 24/7 had him as the number 1 guy in the portal. And he if he wasn't number 1, he was definitely top 5.
And you and I mean, and this wasn't like rocket science. Brogan, Sheer, me, we all looked at him, and I don't think we batted an eye with that. I mean, if we would have been ecstatic if we had gotten AJ Stewart.
But for whatever reason, he doesn't fit into the system that Kansas runs. It's a weird situation. And there's other players that, look, remember, Mike, Arizona. There it is.
Dude, look at the tongue, too, man. He's giving a little tongue action. I love it. Oh, gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Cody, keep that for tomorrow. Look at
Darian Williams, Mike. Look at Darian Williams, right? Arizona.
Yeah. Murph loved Darian Williams. We got to give Murph a lot of credit on him.
Split. The staff was split, right? We didn't think Darian Williams would become this.
Yeah. And he's like a 14-8 guy.
The guy averaged 9 points and like 4 rebounds a game at Nevada.
Chance McMillan. Same thing.
It depends another one.
Yeah.
Like, it's
McCastle has done a really good job though, because if you look at, he got Toppin, who's a Big 12 Player of the Year. He got McMillan, who is an All Conference player. He got Darian Williams, Kermit Walton. I mean, McCastle knows what he's doing when it comes to that kind of stuff. He really is.
Yeah,
he's a good coach.
Really good coach.
It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. That's really all that I could say. But I do think that Arizona, I think they're going to give them the glove tomorrow, fellas. I think they're going to win tomorrow. What say you?
Texas Tech -2.5, boys.
Is that what the line is?
Yeah.
I'll take Arizona in that one.
I like
Feels
Arizona.
about right, but I like Arizona's chances. Seeing that the line, I like Arizona's chances for sure.
I like Arizona. I really like the way they played tonight. I think Tech is good, but I don't think they're very good defensively. And I think Arizona generally does well with those teams. I actually think it matches up with Texas Tech pretty well as long as it rebounds. I like Arizona.
Okay,
if
now
Texas Tech goes 11 for 15 for 3 again in the first half, we're probably losing.
Yeah, but you know what's awesome? Did you see the stat today, how they finished the game? No field goals in the last 7 minutes and 15 seconds. It's like, so
it worked itself out. Right. Yeah.
Hey, can we give time for tomorrow's 6:30, right? Not 8:30?
6:30, Mike. Can we tell Mike what you did? Can we tell people?
Yes, we have to.
Mike said the game was at 8:30 and he was upset it was late. And I was like, Mike, the game's at 6:30. And then he calls me. He had the Big 12 app, which is obviously not based in Arizona.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Settings were 2 hours ahead. So it is at 6:30, Mike.
No, it's all right. Well, again, I know that it's not. So again, thank you, everybody.
Houston, what's the spread in that game? I gotta look. What do you
think? You should have texted Yormark, Mike, and asked him what time the game was.
Yeah, my guy, Brett Yormark.
I'm gonna look right now. All right, what do you want? What do you want? Houston -7.5 over BYU.
I think it's about right. I think Houston covers. Because I think Houston, they're not going to get those threes. I guess that's my.
Yeah,
I like
BYU.
BYU.
They're too physical for BYU.
Yeah, for sure. BYU. That's the game where you got to like one or two too many white guys. So
someone just called you cute, Mike. Baba Ganoush said you're cute, stupid.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. The only one that ever tells me that is Ben One White. So I can't. I was going to say. So I will leave it at that. Cute, stupid. I like it. Also, we need to give Kobe L. Thiel a little bit of grief here. What was Kobe L. Thiel saying? He said JT Toppin is soft. I mean, you're the Big 12 Player of the Year. I don't.
He's good.
He's good. No soft weenies is the Big 12 Player of the Year.
I'll take him. Well, if Trey Townsen dominates JT Toppin tomorrow, have we thought about this?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
You don't change anything, right? That's the starting lineup the rest of the year, right?
Right.
Definitely the starting lineup tomorrow. No, let's go from there.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Now let's see. Oh, look at Javier. Javier has spent the let's see here. Javier has spent the entire time talking about how much he hates Tommy Lloyd. Now he's predicting a BYU Arizona final. Yes, Irish Mike, the great Irish Mike in here. Playoff Townsend, baby. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, so Kobe has been drinking, but again, Kobe is. I'm not sneaky athletic. Nobody's ever going to look at me and say that I'm athletic. I think John Brogan can. Hey, by the way, people are asking real quick. Check this out, and then we're going to get back to sports here in a second. Hold on. Ted Wardle got a groom today. Look at Ted Wardle. Look at that.
You better watch out how you grab him, dude.
Yeah, he's looking like he's super uncomfortable right now.
Yeah. Sorry,
yeah, sorry, Ted Wardle. All right. Okay, now, so you got the rotation down. One thing that I do need to have people, stop. Steven's not going to play just because like I said, I like Steven. I wish that they had played Steven a little bit more. But he's not going to play at this point. They're not going to put him in. And quite frankly, nor should they at this stage in the game. If you were going to play him earlier in the year, you needed to play him earlier in the year. Now is not the time now. And it's just not that fair, quite frankly.
I mean, can you imagine, Mike, this dude doesn't play all season and the Tommy's like, hey, can you go in and guard Hunter Dickinson? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, come on now.
You know, the more I think about the Steven situation, the more I think it's Tommy knows he has Krivas coming back. Steven's probably going to transfer. So why should I redshirt him and develop him for him to go have 4 years at another school? At least they only get 3 now instead of 4. They can redshirt him themselves if they want to. Why should we redshirt him when odds are he's not here in 2 years? Or even next year.
Okay, now let's get to the Arizona Primary Eye Care assist of the game. We got a new read coming up tomorrow for Arizona Primary Eye Care. The assist of the game. We're gonna go with the dunk We gotta want to go with the dunk, Brogan. You put that one out there. You spoke it into the atmosphere. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Veesar to Townsend lob. I also like the Love drive baseline and flip it back to Veesar for the dunk. Those two stand out to me for sure.
What do you got? What do you got, Sheer?
The Caleb one. I thought the Caleb one was awesome.
Yes. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, now I'm getting. Let's see here. Yeah. All right, I'm getting Kansas people that are telling me that
Kansas is complaining about the refs, the fans.
Yeah, I don't get that one at all. Jaden's dime to the backdoor ADO. I want to be clear about something here with ADO. I want ADO back next year. I don't want ADO as a starter because I think Arizona's going to be better, but I want ADO as a starter. And I think that was not as a starter, but that was a yeah. I don't want him. Yeah. That was your Arizona primary eye care assist of the game, though, Jaden Bradley at ADO. I want ADO, though, as a 7th or 8th man. I think he's perfect in that role. I think he's absolutely perfect in that role. The people that don't want him are like, yeah, we should just get rid of him. No. I want ADO. ADO has a role on this team. Plus, Mr. Tyler Warden said ADO's trying on defense. He had 3 deflections in this game as well. We need to give ADO a little bit of credit. There's this scurrilous rumor going around that Jason Shear put out there that ADO cannot basically do anything on defense. No, he's not great, but he's doing better, Shear. He's trying.
Yeah, it's all about effort. I'm reading Tommy Lloyd's comments about why he changed the starting lineup.
What did he say?
He just said he thought Trey was playing really well lately, and he went to Henry, and Henry said, I don't care, and that was that.
Oh, okay, cool. Also, is Green Valley Decorative Rock in Tucson, John Taylor? Yes, it is in. What are you trying to get us to sign off early here? No, Brogan, you and I are more on ADO, though, than Sheer was. We like ADO.
Oh, stop.
We like ADO.
I've said this before. If ADO is going to play, he needs to shoot the damn ball. Against Kansas in the first meeting the other day, he didn't shoot at all. You don't play 14 minutes and shoot once. Today, he had 5 shots in 20 minutes. Perfectly cool with it.
He was still hesitant today. He came off a couple high ball screens where Kansas big man backed off, and you could see him sort of pause and then pass and keep running. But he's out there to shoot and score. If he's not doing that, he can't help us because he's not a great defender. He tries hard, but he's not a great defender, and we got KJ for that. So if he's going to be out on the floor, he's got shots. Like that's
why are we do? Jeremy Vos says, why are we dissing Zeke Mayo? I'd love to have Zeke Mayo.
Mike loves Zeke Mayo.
I think he's good. I think he's really good. I think he's fantastic. I'd love to have Zeke Mayo on the team. I don't know why they were threatening.
Did really well on him though in the second half.
I don't know why they were threatening.
First half, I mean, second half.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's either good. ADO. Yeah, but you're right though. If ADO's out there, ADO's got to hunt his shots. Period. I mean, it is what it is. ADO's got to hunt his shots. If he's got space, he's got to take it. That's really the point. Really the point. It is. Also, ADO is actually a fairly good finisher around the basket too. He is he can finish in traffic. And again, I'm not making out like he's Derrick Rose or something, but he's a clever finisher. And he's like I said, you can win games with ADO playing a role. Just again, ideally, it's probably not 30 minutes per game, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Shelby, he got annihilated on that one play. That was hilarious, and they didn't call anything on the break or whatever it was.
Yeah, seriously.
Down. It's like, what are we doing?
I also like the 1-2, and it's funny because it was like right after they just called like basically where he wasn't even touched. I like the play too where who was it was laying out of bounds. I think it was KJ Adams or whatever, and he trips over him, and they're like, "Oh, it's out on ADO."
Yeah. There's so many. The one where even at the end of the first half, and it could have cost Arizona with a little more time. Carter was like a 1.5 in bounds. Like not even close.
Mr. Tyler Warden, I love that play too. How about this steal where he just threw it into the backcourt? I loved that one. ADO was having fun out there. I like
that's all that matters.
ADO is scrappy. That's the best way that I will put it. Also, but again, I want to circle back to Trey though here for a second. But also, Aris Dental, we need to get our Aris Dental look ahead. Our guy, Land the Man with the master plan. He says that Thatcher has better basketball than Benson. Brogan, you were fighting back against this. This is true.
I said if you like the 70s and 80s, it's 100% true.
So are you trying to say that Thatcher was more of Thatcher is like the old school LDS domination then in basketball? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, one of many.
Wait, so Benson is more new, the more in vogue. Is that the best way to put it?
Well, I don't think Benson's LDS, so I'm not sure what comparison.
I thought Benson. You're from Benson, and you're LDS.
I'm from a suburb of Benson.
Mike assumes that if you're from a town and you're Mormon, that whole town is Mormon.
100%.
Ah, fair enough. All right, fair enough. Where are you from again? Melpomene?
Exactly, Melpomene. Pomeranian.
Is that what it is? Oh, Pomeranian. Yeah, like the Pomeranians.
Yeah, Pomeranian.
Mm-hmm. All right, I want to circle back though to Trey Townsen though. Trey Townsen. Trey Townsen played hard. Trey Townsen played very, very well. Dick Wilson, Benson beat Thatcher 7 straight times. All right, it is what it is. We got to get. Is everyone from Mesa more? Oh, a lot of them. All right, but
yes.
Jacob Franklin is.
Yeah, Jacob Franklin, who pretends. Jeffrey Franklin, very funny story about this, and we'll get back to it. Our good pal Jacob Franklin always says he's not LDS, and Brogan, who is LDS, said, dude, he's from Mesa. His name's Jacob Franklin. Tell him to just give it up and just be honest. Jacob Franklin, let's be honest.
Also, his kid's name is Hezekiah. I mean, what more?
It is what it is at this point. Okay. Now, but Trey Townsen, we got to give Trey a lot of credit because, again, he was great. He was attacking the bucket. He was finishing. He was getting and ones, and he was playing hard. That's the, and again, that's something they're going to need against Texas Tech. We need this Trey Townsen from, and that's in the back there as a look ahead. What say you guys?
Yeah, we always say, like, we'll put down players in terms of basketball, say, oh, they didn't play well, whatever. And we're also, when they play well, we're the first ones to admit it's great to see, right?
Right.
We have been really hard on Trey Townsen for the majority of the season, except for a game here or there. Since ASU, he's been awesome. I mean, there's just that, you got to give him his flowers. I don't know if he's going to do this every game. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow against Tech, but I know that Arizona does not win this basketball game without him, which is crazy to say.
Brogan?
Yeah, and I think, people, a couple comments that kind of made this point too, is I think they made an effort to give him the ball and have him be able to go make plays. As for the first 2/3 of the season, he was just a de facto screener, shoot a corner three, maybe an air ball, and that's kind of it. But today, they were good about getting the ball in the wing, short corner, elbow, whatever, and letting them try to attack the basket a little bit. So I think as long as they keep some of that rhythm going on offense, he's going to have Williams as his matchup tomorrow, who's undersized, and so he shouldn't be overwhelmed with like size and athleticism. Like, I think the game, if he can handle the physicality, sets up for him to have another good game tomorrow, which I
want to point out a Tommy Lloyd quote because it's very interesting. So he shot that 3 early in the game, and I think he made it. And Tommy said basically that he felt they could not guard Trey off the dribble. And he said, I like the 3, but go to the bucket.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy. Like, KJ Adams couldn't guard, and he was right. He was absolutely right. And he said, I told him to I said, great 3, go to the basket. They can't guard you.
Again, it's almost like Tommy Lloyd can coach. I mean, it is. I don't know what else to say. All right, now, also want to give a lot of flowers to KJ Lewis. I called this one, though. KJ Lewis was fantastic when he plays like that. He is a really, really good player. Okay, now, guys, wrap this one up for me, Jason Shearer. Wrap it up, and we also need to talk about it. We don't have to play H-Stick again, which I'm very happy about. H-Stick, go away.
Shelby's yelling at me to read the snaps.
No, we're going to read the snaps. We'll read the snaps at the end. Yeah. Come on, Shelby. Be nice.
Mike just said, go make us a sandwich, Mike said.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there room on your couch, Mike? Just overall, really nice win. It's big for a few reasons, but mostly momentum. I mean, Arizona, I think they lost tonight, would have been like 7 of their last 9 or 6 of their last 8 or something like that against good teams. But still, I think it's important to win a game in March and know what it feels like to be in these type of games and this type of atmosphere, and especially after losing to Kansas. Just overall a nice game. And I do think Arizona is going to win tomorrow, but I think everyone can agree it's amazing what one game does, because I feel considerably better about this team right now than I did 6 days ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, what do you got there, Brogan?
I think the win was a momentum builder. I think that changes if they don't show up, and I'm okay with a loss tomorrow because this game was the important one to get the 4 seed locked up, but it has to be a competitive game. This can't be a 15-point or you're down 18 at the half like Iowa State because they made 100 threes. It can't be that. But if they win, Then all of a sudden you start to get a little more excited. A week ago, we were like, man, if this team makes the Sweet 16, successful season, cool. They win tomorrow, and now you're like, okay, get to the Sweet 16, and teams get to be a little beatable, and all of a sudden you're looking at an Elite Eight. So I think tomorrow just continues to build the momentum for them. It's a big game. It's not a must-win game, but it's a big game for them.
I'm not a fan of conference tournaments, but if Arizona wins tomorrow, like I don't mind if Arizona loses tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, I'm all in. Like I'm right.
Well,
like
yeah, because we're winning at that point.
Right. At that point, you're like, let's go get it. I'm all in.
Yeah. All right. Now let's read all the super snaps again. We made a lot of money off super snaps today, man. We got to keep winning this one, man. Keep bringing the cheddar. Bridge Tech Communications, the great Bridge Tech Communications. Very much appreciate Tony. $99.99. Back the freaking A. Very much appreciate Tony. Very, very tasty. John Taylor, $4.99. Townsend and KJ fight back. What? You mess with the paw, you got their glove. Hunting Arizona, enjoy the process. $4.99. Guys, you can only have one in March. Jordan Mays or Trey. Ralph, Trey's on the team right now, so I'll go with Trey. Stut Joe, $2. Fun game to watch. Very much agree. Very much agree. Jeremiah Dibble, Brogan's buddy and my buddy. Zeke Mayo does hold this L. Take that L. Take that L. Okay, Lance, $5. Big 12 turned into UFC with elbows to the face, but they weren't called. Stut Joe, $2. Cats played well. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah, look at Sheer. All right. My wife says I can only give you money if you take a step back from the camera. Back the A. Daniel Hartman, very much appreciate the donation. It was good to see Tommy not play Henry and Awaka together. His team is best with Henry and 4 guards, wings. Lute is my daddy. Appreciate you as well. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got. Back the A Ray. The great Back the A Ray. Mikhail East will not be denied. Yes, I agree. Beautiful. Caleb and Henry, 2-man game, $19.99. Let's take it. Okay. What else we got? Kobe, $199, 8 on 5 was crazy. Yes, I didn't like that. Boo. Eddie Lynn, $10 hat tip to Trey tonight. Yes. Sure, you read a couple of them now.
I don't even know where we are. I got so excited.
Yeah, Tom Hart, $4.99. Are we finally getting the full 2025 except minus Krivas? Yes, maybe. Yes.
I got it. Miser, Tommy, 13-2 in revenge games, $9.99. Thank you. My guy, CB Wildcat, $4.99 super sticker. That's my buddy. He told me to get a set, remember? So shout out to you. Yes. Frank Galati super sticker, $10. Thank you. Stut Joe, $2. That was a great basketball game. You guys rule. Mr. Tyler Warden, big concern for Big 12 teams in March. Season officiating is wildly different. Yeah, I mean, who the hell knows what tomorrow will look like?
Yeah, for sure. H-Stick tired out.
H-Stick tired out. Awesome coaching and playing. Jerry B, 199. Thank you. Mateo, need to close that Jaden, KJ, Caleb, Carter, Henry lineup. Always tenacious on defense. Eddie Lynn, $20 coffee money. Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink.
Our guy Yodafo, $4.99. The H stands for hook. I think that's when he said hooked it.
Hooked it. Yeah. Hooked it.
David Rosen, $10. AZ12 podcast is the best AZ Wildcats pod out there. Back the A, back the Trey. Stut Joe, $2. If I'm in Tucson, we'll buy you 3 dudes many drinks.
Nice.
Jerry B again, educate us on how to support Arizona's NIL fund. Write the checks directly to Mike. No, I'm just kidding. I will actually find out that tomorrow.
I'm very good.
TJ Van Martyr, we close to a My Bad Townsend movement. I mean, March March make up for everything, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, come on, you got to keep doing a couple more, but then we'll do that. Yes, H-Stick hook shot is pretty dang good.
$2. Thank you for celebrating with us tonight. 2 more. I want ADO as a starter, but not as a starter. Mike's
Cody, put the merch link in there again. Put the please. Yes, Robert McClasson.
Robert McGlasson, all this mess with the paw all season, and Trey is giving us the glove.
Trey is giving us the glove, baby. We love it. Dude, we're working on those shirts, by the way.
Edgar Ortiz, 109. How empty will KC be with both Kansas teams out? It's funny. I just tweeted something. StubHub all of a sudden just released 500 tickets because everyone is giving up their tickets right now. Last one, Mike. Nifty Cello, 6'11", 199. Bear down. Back the A. Peace out. H-Stick.
All right. No. These snaps rule, you guys are the best. Okay, yeah. There it is. There's the link. All right. Everybody out there, though, we will be back with you tomorrow at 10:30. We got to have a fan segment. David Rosen coming on 11:15. Then we're going to have a post-game show again. Hopefully we can make a lot more money. You guys are fantastic. Yummy in my tummy. That money. All right. John Brogan, you're the man. Benson's finest. Jason Shearer. Like I said, I like the hoodie as well. It's very, very good. Now, and on top of that, you look like Nelly in like a 2001 video.
Little Band-Aid right here.
St. Louis, baby, like with the Jerry Rice Band-Aid. Yeah, I like it. Yes. Now, also, I am merely Mike Luke, Cody James Martin behind the scenes. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 10:30. Yes, I do still have the same girlfriend. She's my fiance. So yes.
Me though. So
yeah. Shearer's back on the market. Yes. John back tomorrow night. Hey, Dick Wilson's asking, will you come back tomorrow night with us, Brogan? There's no reason not to.
TBD.
All right. Okay. And Eddie Lynn, $20 more money for coffee. You guys are the best. We'll be back with you tomorrow, 10:30 TTFN. Ta-ta for now.